The Brady-Mahomes debate is amplified after every season, and for good reason after the Chiefs became the first team to win back-to-back Super Bowls since the Patriots in the early 2000s. There are countless parallels between these two dynasties, but I want to answer one huge question. Which back-to-back dynasty was better? This is early 2000s Patriots versus the current Chiefs since 2019. So we're going to take the best players from each team during those years and compare them one-on-one to the other team. Right off the bat, we have to answer the big question. Which quarterback should we take, Brady or Mahomes? Unfortunately, there has to be an exception with the very first position we look at. I know, but because Brady played so long and the Pats dynasty really lasted through 2018, I have to look at who he was in that era. And while he was great, he was no Mahomes. In his 63 games through 2004, he had 13,000 yards, 97 touchdowns to 57 picks, while Mahomes has averaged 4,500 yards and 33 touchdowns since 2019. Again, I know it was a different time, but Brady didn't even have a 4,000-yard passing season in those years, so this one has to go to the Chiefs. However, things even out at running back as Corey Dillon heavily outweighs Isaiah Pacheco. While it would have been slightly more interesting if we were counting the 2017 and 18 versions of Kareem Hunt, Dillon's 0-4 season, where he ran for 1,600 yards and 12 TDs, is hard to overcome, and that's not even considering that he is top 20 all-time in yards and touchdowns. Tight end is very obvious, as the early 2000s Pats don't get the same boost from Gronkowski that the 2010 teams do. Any Gronk-Kelsey debate will have to wait. But for now, the 10-time Pro Bowl, 4-time All-Pro, future Hall of Fame Kelsey far outweighs Daniel Graham's 30-catch, 400-yard seasons. Wide receivers a little closer than tight end, and Troy Brown and Deion Branch had solid long careers, but they aren't close to Tyreek Hill, who's on his own level compared to the other players here, for both teams. Now I'd probably take Brown, Branch, and Patton over Smith-Schuster and Rise, but Hill, who has more first-team All-Pros than the other players have combined 1,000-yard seasons, easily gives the Chiefs the point. Left tackle is fairly even between Orlando Brown Jr. and Matt Light. Both went to multiple Pro Bowls, as Brown had 4 straight appearances and Light went to 3 and was an All-Pro. While I'd probably give Light the edge on the left, at right tackle there is a monumental gap between Tom Ashworth, who was a fine 3-year starter, and Mitchell Schwartz, who was a first or second team All-Pro every year from 2016 through 19. Guard is fairly lopsided, as you have Damian Woody, who was a versatile lineman who found himself in the Pro Bowl roster in 2002, and Joe Andruzzi, who helped solidify continuity on the line leading into their dynasty stretch. But Joe Thuney has established himself as one of the best guards in the league, alongside Trey Smith, who earned his first Pro Bowl this season. Center isn't that close either. Although Dan Koppen was very talented for the Patriots between 2003 and 2011, highlighted by a second-team All-Pro in 2007, Humphrey has been elite over his first 4 seasons, which have included multiple Pro Bowls and All-Pros. Okay, Kansas City is looking like they're running away with this one, and we haven't even gotten to defense. And the early 2000 Patriots were absolutely stacked on this side of the ball, so this could be really close. Edge includes a couple multi-time Pro Bowlers in Willie McGinnis and Frank Clark, alongside their well-rounded counterparts in George Karlaftis and Mike Vrabel. Both Clark and McGinnis averaged 6.5 sacks for the bulk of their careers. However, I believe Willie was the best overall player, having displayed greater versatility as a run and pass defender. And with Vrabel's 12.5 sack first-team All-Pro season in 2007, that probably puts them ahead. Defensive tackle is a unique matchup, featuring Richard Seymour, a Hall of Famer, and Chris Jones, a future Hall of Famer, who have similar accomplishments. I think today's era lends to higher sack totals, especially from defensive tackle, and there may admittedly be some modern bias, but I think Jones may prove to be better. However, the 2004 Patriots drafted Vince Wilfork in the first round, and even though he was just a rookie during their 3rd Super Bowl, he would go on to have a multiple Pro Bowl and All-Pro career, which heavily outweighs Tershawn Wharton, literally. Linebackers are a more balanced matchup, with Teddy Bruschi, who enjoyed a long and decorated 13-year career with the Patriots. But you also have Roman Pfeiffer, who played for the Pats in his mid-30s, so I can't exactly look at who he was in his prime. And despite solid seasons between 2001 and 3, he sharply declined in 2004. On the other hand, Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill are both talented blitzing and coverage linebackers, but they would be lucky to have the career Bruschi had. I think the Chiefs linebackers are better than the late 30s Pfeiffer, but not Bruschi, who is the best overall player of this bunch, so I'm going to give this point to the Patriots. Corner is an intriguing comparison, as I believe a L'Jarius Sneed-Trent McDuffie duo would rank among the best pairs of the position any given year. McDuffie in particular is establishing himself amongst the elite corners of his era. However, Ty Law and Asante Samuel are on a whole other level. Law is a Hall of Fame corner who was one of the best at his position in his generation over a 15-year career. And while we could see McDuffie reach a similar level over time, his big deficiency, which is a lack of interceptions, is Samuel's greatest strength. In his 11 years, he picked off 51 passes and led the league twice in 2006 and 2009. The Patriots have made a huge comeback here with the chance to tie in the final position, safety, and they had great ones. Lawyer Milroy was a physical Pro Bowl 100 tackle year safety, and Rodney Harrison was a multi-time All-Pro as well. For the Chiefs, Tyrann Mathieu was a do-it-all type player who's displayed elite coverage skills, evident by his 33 picks and 100 career defense passes. But Justin Reid, who's a solid starting safety, doesn't really compare to the Milroy-Harrison pedigree. So, I guess it ends on a tie. It's all Chiefs offense and Pats defense. But we can't just end it here. For all the marbles, we can compare the head coaches, Andy Reid versus Bill Belichick. Off the bat, Bill's going to take the lead with his 6 Super Bowls. But here's where it gets interesting. The Bill and Brady Pats had a 251 and 82 record in games where Brady started, a 75.4 win percentage. Conversely, Mahomes and Reid have gone 89 and 23, a 79.5 win percentage, which is probably too close to give either the edge. However, the big difference between them is how well they did without their all-time great QBs. Belichick went 51 and 83 in his career with the Browns after Brady left New England, and any game Brady didn't play. That's an abysmal 38.1 win percentage. And guess what? During his Eagles and pre-Mahomes tenures, Reid won 60.1% of his games, 184 and 122. Given that huge disparity, I'm giving Andy Reid this point over Bill Belichick, and the Chiefs take the win as the better dynasty. But as the Chiefs' success continues, we might have to look at them versus the entire Patriots dynasty. Regardless, who do you think was better? Let me know in the comments and make sure to subscribe for more NFL videos.